Hello everyone, welcome to the ninth lecture of heat transfer. In this lecture we will discuss about the heat transfer through a composite wall and the overall heat transfer coefficient. Let us consider this is a composite wall. It is made from three material A, material B and material C. The thermal conductivity of material A is Ka, the thermal conductivity of material B is Kb, while the thermal conductivity of material C is Kc. The length of wall A is La, the length of wall B is Lb, while the length of wall C is Lc. There is a fluid on one side of the composite wall. There is a hot fluid having temperature T infinity 1 and heat transfer coefficient H1, while on the other side there is a cool fluid having temperature T infinity 4 and overall heat transfer coefficient H4. The heat transfer through this composite wall from the hot fluid to the cool fluid. Now there are some resistance to heat transfer. First of all, the heat transfer from this fluid to the surface 1, TS1. This is the surface 1 of the wall 1. So the heat transfer by convection from this fluid to the wall 1 surface O, while the heat transfer through this wall is by conduction. Similarly, the heat transfer through this wall is also by conduction O, and the heat transfer through the third wall is also by conduction O. At last, the heat transfer from wall 4 to the cool fluid is by convection O. So, in this case, there are some resistance to heat transfer O. First of all, these wall provide resistance to heat transfer O. Similarly, this hot fluid also provide resistance to the heat transfer O. Similarly, the cool fluid also provide resistance to the heat transfer O. Now, suppose this is the hot fluid provide resistance to the when the heat transfer from the hot fluid to the surface of the wall, then there is some resistance to the heat transfer O. So this is a resistance 1. Then the wall provide resistance which is resistance 2. Then the wall 2 also provide resistance which is resistance 2. Then the wall 3 provide resistance which is resistance 4, and then the cool fluid also provide resistance 2 there. So there are resistance 1, resistance 2, resistance 3, resistance 4, resistance 5. So there are 5 resistance to the heat transfer O, and this is temperature T infinity 1 and T infinity 4, which is temperature of the cold fluid. So in order to find the resistance in this place when the heat transfer from hot fluid to the surface of the wall, we will use Newton law of cooling O. As we know that Newton law of cooling is Q is equal to HA dt. We all know that Newton law of cooling is dA HA dt. So Qx is equal to H1 A T infinity 1 minus Ts 1. So from this we can rearrange this equation 1 over H1A is equal to T infinity 1 minus Ts1 divided by Qxo. As we already know from the previous lecture, we know that resistance is equal to gradient divided by the flow of quantity. These can be we have already discussed about the resistance in the previous lecture also. Temperature gradient divided by the heat rate. The ratio of temperature gradient and heat rate is known as resistance to the convection heat transfer, and it is denoted by R1. It is resistance 1. So R1 is equal to 1 over heat transfer coefficient in area 1 and area for the heat transfer. So this is the resistance 1. Now we know that the heat transfer through this wall is by conduction. So we will use Fourier law, which is Qx is equal to Ka dt by dxo. Now dt by dx divided by Ka into A. So this is Ka, thermal conductivity of surface of this surface, thermal conductivity Ka into area of this surface. So Ka into A. So this is the Qxo. Now so Qx is equal to thermal conductivity of surface A into temperature difference and dxo. So rearrange, which is dt by dx into Ka into A. This is their area, cross-sectional area. So this is Qxo. Now we know that this dx is length of wall A, which is LA, as we have already discussed about this. This is the LA, length of the wall A. So we can write dt by LA divided by Ka into A. So rearrange this equation. Suppose this is equation 1. So rearrange this equation. We will get LA divided by Ka into A is equal to dt by Qxo. Again, this is temperature difference divided by the heat rate due to this temperature difference. So this is also a resistance to the heat transfer. So we called it R2. So R2 is LA divided by, this is R2. So R2 is LA divided by Ka into area. This is resistance provided by the wall 1. Now we also know that the heat transfer through the wall 2 is also by conduction. As we have already discussed, the heat transfer through this wall is also by conduction, and also through this wall the heat is also transferred by conduction. So we will, for wall 2, we know that Qx is equal to Kb, thermal conductivity of the wall B, into cross-sectional area of the wall B, into dt by dxo. So we know that we rearrange this equation, dt by dx divided by Kb into area. So dt divided by dx in this case is Lb, length of wall B, and divided by Kb into area. Now rearrange, suppose this is equation 2. Rearrange this equation. This is Qx, heat transfer in the x direction. There is an assumption that the heat transfer only in x direction. There is some assumption in this there are some assumption the heat transfer only in x direction. For the composite wall we apply some assumption, the heat transfer only in x direction, and there is no heat generation in the wall. There is steady state process. There are some assumptions. So this is the heat transfer in x direction through wall B. So we can rearrange this equation, which is Lb divided by Kb into area is equal to dt by Qxo. So this is again temperature difference divided by the heat rate due to this temperature difference is known as resistance, which is R3. So R3 is equal to R3 is equal to LB divided by KB into area. This is the third resistance to the heat transfer, which is provided by wall B. Similarly, for wall C, we know that the heat transfer, from our assumption that the heat transfer only in the x direction, and for wall C, the Fourier law of heat conduction is Kc into cross-sectional area into dt by dxo. Now rearrange this equation, we will get dt divided by dx divided by Kc into area. Suppose this is equation 3. Now we can rearrange as this is dx is LC, as we have already know this is the LC, length of wall C, thickness of the wall C. So rearrange this equation, we will get, suppose Qx is equal to dt by LC divided by Kc into area. Now we can write this equation, rearrange Kx is equal to, for wall C, as we have already written that this is LC divided by Kc into area. Now rearrange this equation, we will get KLC divided by Kc into area is equal to dt by Qx. So this is again temperature difference divided by the heat rate due to this temperature difference, and the ratio of temperature difference divided by heat rate is called a resistance. So this resistance we called it R4. So the resistance through wall 3 is R4 is the resistance provided by wall 3, which is denoted by R4, and it is given by LC, length of wall C, divided by thermal conductivity of wall C and cross-sectional area of wall C. So this is the resistance provided by the third wall to the heat transfer. Now when the heat transfer from this wall to the fluid, then the heat will transfer through convection. The heat will transfer by convection. So there again we will apply, in this section we will apply Newton law of cooling, and we all know that Newton law of cooling for this section will be, the Newton law of cooling will be Q of x is equal to H4 into area Ts4, temperature of the surface 4 minus T infinity 4. This is the temperature, this is Ts4, and this is T infinity 4, and this is the heat transfer coefficient H4, the heat transfer through the fluid. Therefore we will use the heat transfer coefficient of the cold fluid, which can be at 25 degrees C or at room temperature, we can consider. So the heat transfer through this is by convection, which is H4, heat transfer coefficient H4 into area and the. So we can rearrange this equation. Suppose 1 over H4 into area is equal to Ts4 minus T infinity 4 divided by Q of xo. Again this is temperature difference divided by the heat rate due to this temperature difference, and the ratio of these quantity is called resistance to the heat transfer, which is provided by the fluid, and we called it R5, the resistance provided by the cold fluid to the heat transfer. So we can write this is R5 is equal to 1 over H4 into area. Now as we know that the heat transfer through this wall is by conduction, and the heat transfer through the fluid is by convection, and here the heat also transfer by convection. As the heat, we assume that the heat transfer only in the x direction, the heat transfer only in the x direction. Suppose this is the x direction and this is the heat, this is the temperature O. So the temperature change in the x direction, the heat transfer in the x direction O. So there is, from our assumption, we can say that these wall and the fluid are connected in series. These are, suppose these are series combination. So as the heat transfer only in the x direction, so we will use the series combination of resistance R1, R2, R3, R4 and R5. And from series combination of resistance, and when resistance are connected in series, suppose there are some resistance R1, R2, R3, R4, R5, R1, R2, R3, R4, R5. So the overall resistance, the total resistance is equal to the sum of all resistance R1, R2, R3, R4 plus R5. So this is the total resistance. This is the total resistance. So the total resistance provided by the fluid and the composite wall is RT, and which is equal to the combination of all resistances. Now we will combine these resistances and we will get the total resistance provided by the fluid and the wall. Now putting the value of R1, R1, R2 and R3. R1, as we know, RT is equal to R1, R2, R3, R4, R5. Now putting the value of R1, R2, R3, R4 and R5 in this relation. Suppose this is equation S. Putting these, as we know that R1 is equal to, as we already know that R1 is, this is R1, 1 over H1A. Similarly, R2 is LA by KA, R3 is LB divided by KBA. Similarly, R4 is LC divided by KCA, and R5 is equal to 1 over H4 divided by A. So putting the value of these resistances, we will get, which is 1 over H1A LA divided by KA and 2A plus LB, length of wall B, and 2 thermal conductivity of wall B, and 2 cross sectional area of wall B, and 2 LC divided by KC and 2 plus 1 over H4 and 2 area. So this is the total resistance. As the area is, we assume that the area is same for all wall, the cross-sectional area of all wall is similar. This is the cross-sectional area for this wall, the area is same. So we can write this, so we can simply, this is the overall resistance provided by the wall and the fluid to the heat transfer. Now for as we know that for overall heat transfer, so the overall heat transfer coefficient can be obtained from these resistances. The reciprocal of these overall of the reciprocal of these resistance of the total resistance is known as overall heat transfer coefficient. As we know that from Newton law of cooling, we know that Q of X is equal to HA delta T. Now if we now for overall heat transfer coefficient, we can also write that Q is equal to UA delta T. For overall heat transfer, this is the heat transfer coefficient, and this is the overall heat transfer coefficient. When we combine in this overall heat transfer coefficient, there is a combination of various resistances, and the reciprocal of these resistances is the overall heat transfer coefficient. Now for the overall heat transfer coefficient, we can, if someone is interested to find the heat transfer from this fluid to this cold fluid. The heat transfer of this if we ignore this area and if we are interested to find the overall, if we are interested to find the overall heat transfer through this wall, so we will consider only T infinity 1, T infinity 4, and we will ignore this wall. So for the overall heat transfer coefficient, we can write that Q is equal to Qx is equal to U, which is the overall heat transfer coefficient, into area and to temperature difference. So Q of x is equal to U, which is the overall heat transfer coefficient, into the cross sectional area and to temperature T infinity 1 minus T infinity 4. T infinity 1 divided by T infinity 4, which is given T infinity 1, T infinity 4. The overall, we are only interested in these temperature differences. So we are find the overall heat transfer coefficient, overall heat transfer rate, which is Qx is equal to UA T infinity 1 minus T infinity 4. Now we know that this is T infinity 1 minus T infinity, as we know that the total resistance is equal to 1 over H1A, and similarly these are the total resistance. Now we know that, so we can rearrange this equation by 1 over UA is equal to T infinity 1 minus T infinity 4 divided by Q of x. Again, this is the ratio of temperature difference and heat transfer rate in the x direction, so we can call it resistance, is called resistance, and we can call it total resistance, because the overall heat, there is include the overall heat transfer coefficient, and this is the, and this T infinity 1 and this T infinity 2, there is various resistances between these two temperatures, so we can say that it is the ratio of T infinity 1, so the ratio of T infinity 1 minus T infinity 4 divided by Qx is the overall heat transfer coefficient due to this overall heat transfer coefficient. So we can suppose this is suppose this is our equation B, and this is our equation number C. Suppose this is equation number C. So we can, this is total resistance, this is also the total resistance, so which is equal to 1 over UA. So we can compare, as this RT and this is RT, so compare this equation B with this equation number C. We will get 1 over UA is equal to 1 over 1 is equal to 1 over 1 divided by H1A plus LA KA into area LB KB into area LC divided by KC into area plus 1 over H4 into area. Now this area is common, so this area cancel with this area, and now rearrange this equation. The overall heat transfer coefficient will become U is equal to 1 over H1 plus LA divided by KA plus LB divided by KB LC divided by KC 1 over H4. This is called the overall heat transfer coefficient. This is called the overall heat transfer. This is the overall heat transfer coefficient, and we can put this overall heat transfer coefficient in this equation. We will get the overall heat rate. Suppose this is equation D, so we can put this equation in this. So Q of x is equal to the, so the overall heat rate is, which is U. We can write this in place of 1 over H1 plus LA. Sorry, we can write, so we can write it in this form, which is 1 over, suppose Qx is equal to 1 over h1 plus La Ka Lb Kb Lc Kc 1 over h4. This is the overall heat transfer coefficient, which is this into area into multiply by area into T infinity 1 minus T infinity 4. This is also multiply with area. So this is the overall heat ratio, and the overall heat transfer coefficient is this equation, represented by this equation. The overall heat transfer coefficient is nothing but it is the reciprocal of total resistance to the heat transfer, is called the overall heat transfer coefficient. So in this case we find the overall heat transfer coefficient through composite wall, and at last we find the heat rate through the composite wall. Thanks. If you are new to my channel, please like and subscribe.